listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of you around the world listen to the sound of my voice. It is a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County. I'm excited about the day because today is really my Friday. I know today's your Thursday, but today is my Friday. I gotta tell you this. I'm in a mastermind meeting every morning at 8 o'clock. And so I lost track of time. And I was wondering oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. So I'm a minute behind time, but that's okay. I'm still here with you guys nonetheless. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Today is also Spotlight Thursday, so I got a great guest. I love having great people on the show, so I'm excited about that as well. But before I do that, of course, I got to give you my horoscopes for today. I also got to give you your daily national holiday, and it's National Egg Day. Yeah, it's National Egg Day. I eat omelets, and I haven't eaten one this morning. So guess what? I'm not too hungry because I've been eating cherries and I've been eating nectarines for breakfast. I should be drinking a protein shake, but I haven't. I should do that. I just got my blood work back, and my protein is so crazy because I know this is bad, but I really like mostly eating like fruits, and I like to eat mostly I eat fruit and I eat like a little bit of vegetables. It depends on what it is. Like I may eat like spinach, or I eat carrots raw. I love sweet potatoes, but I know that's a carb. So I'm kind of weird like that. I eat more vegetables now than I've ever had in my life, because I used to wouldn't eat them at all. Like I used to would just eat lettuce like a rabbit. That's pretty much all I ate. But now I eat a little bit more vegetables. But I gotta tell you, I eat more protein than anything, and my protein is still very, very low. So my doctor goes, your protein is really low. He wants me to eat like, I think 70 to 80 grams of protein a day, and I'm thinking I'm doing that, but obviously I'm not, because I eat meat all day long. I eat eggs, I eat cheese, and it's still very low. And he tells me this every time I go. He's like, okay, so your protein is not where I want it to be. And I'm like, I know, I'm trying. And for me, I don't know how to get it in. Like, unless I'm eating like protein bars, I eat like beef jerky. I had like beef jerky snacks. My husband bring me tons of beef jerky snacks because that's high in protein. So I try to eat the beef jerky. So yesterday I probably did pretty good because I had crabs yesterday. I had some beef stroganoff. And I had teriyaki beef jerky. Now, I probably still didn't do as well as I should. But anyway, today is National Egg Day, and I'm hungry, so an egg would be great right now. It's also National Chocolate Macaroons Day. So for those of you who like macaroons, get at it. I don't really particularly care for macaroons. I don't. It's something about I don't know. I don't know. They don't do it for me. That's all I'm saying. I don't particularly. Some people love them. Georgette says she likes macaroons. I particularly don't like macaroons, and that's just me. Has nothing to do with you guys. It's just me. I'm just weird like that. So, anyway, let's get on with our horoscopes. And brought to you by noted astrologer Michael Dawson for today, Thursday, January 3rd. Before I do that, I want to give a happy birthday shout out, early birthday shout out to my Uncle David. This is going to be his birthday this Saturday. I'm off tomorrow, so I don't get a chance to shout it out on Saturday. So happy birthday, Uncle David. He's my uncle. He's the one that lives with me. So when I moved back to Georgia, my mom was living with me, and her brother, her second baby brother. They were all living with me. And so he's still here with me. And I just want to wish him a happy shout out for his birthday before that time. It's kind of crazy because he loves cheesecake. And he's on dialysis. So on Saturday morning, he has to go to dialysis. That's his dialysis appointment. But I'm going to go buy him a nice cheesecake because he likes cheesecake. I think I'm just going to run to the Cheesecake Factory and pick him up one because he likes cheesecake. And I think he'll be happy with that because I had a piece of cheesecake. I don't know. Somebody bought it for me. I think Georgette bought it. It was delicious. He's like, why you didn't get me a piece? So I'm going to go buy him a cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory because I know he loves cheesecake for his birthday. So when he comes home on Saturday from dialysis, I'm going to have a cheesecake there for him. That's his birthday. But anyway, let's get on with our horoscope. Today is Thursday, June the 3rd. We're going to kick it off like we always do, and that is with Aries. Your determination and stamina will make you work hard, make you look flawless and effortless. Yep, make your work look flawless and effortless. That's because your determination and your stamina. You do that with vigor. You know what I mean? Sometimes it was so funny. I was just on the mastermind, and I was talking about, like, I'm launching a new program. It's called Podcast University. Y'all know I love podcasting, but this is not telling you how to start a podcast. This is for podcasters who already have a podcast and they want to learn how to get on Alexa and Amazon Fire TV, get a channel on there, and get a channel on Roku, and learn how to create their mobile apps and all that good stuff. Learn how to use Headliner to create videos. That's what it's about. So I'm launching the program, and I was on there and I'm talking with my hands. Like I talk with my hands, I'm talking with my hands. And then I was telling the guys, like, listen, I got an affiliate for the program. So if you want to become an affiliate, shoot me an email, audrey@noisemedia.us, and I'll send you the link. The affiliate program pays out $300. And so the guy was like, he said, oh man, you could tell she's a hustler, man. She's doing her hand, and she licked her lips. It was hilarious. And it was so funny because I really didn't know that. So I said all that to say, Aries, your determination and your stamina will make you look flawless and effortless. So obviously me doing all this and licking my lips made me look like I was a hustler, which I am. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. Yeah, it ain't who I am, where I'm about to go. Y'all know that's Jay-Z. Jay-Z's one of my favorite artists. Talking to those you trust and respect will help you sort out your problems. Make sure to arrange in advance, spend quality time together. Listen, spend some time. It's the weekend coming. Make arrangements. Arrange it. Sometimes you have to put things on your schedule, Aries, to make sure they get done. Listen, I have to schedule out almost everything. My anniversary is Monday. Monday is my anniversary. And guess what I'll be doing? I'll be out the door, downtown Atlanta, to a networking event. That's what I'll be doing. So I'm going to do the show and then I'm out. It's my anniversary, but my husband's going to work. We're going to go out Sunday and I'll be doing what I got to do. Taurus, do not react too harshly when dealing with partners. You need to lend an ear to an old friend. Don't let an incident at work play on your mind. Someone is trying to mess you up. Somebody's trying to play on your mind. Don't let them do it. Don't let people take up space in your head. That's your mind. Only you can control what takes up space in your head. So today, Taurus, somebody's trying to make you think something that's happening at work. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. You control the space in your head. You decide what you want to let take up space in your head. So today, don't let people, an incident at work play around in your mind. Don't do it. You control that. Gemini, children may be on your mind. Beware of colleagues who don't have your best interest at heart. This is not the best day to visit relatives who get on your nerves. There's never a good day to visit relatives that get on your nerve. I don't think so. That's not true. I'm just kidding. Sometimes they don't get on your nerve, but you know the ones that's gonna get on your nerve. And the minute you go around, you're like, oh my God, I don't even know why I bother. Do you know that person? It's always that one person that you be like, oh God, here she comes. Whew, I don't even know why I bother going around them. Because that's your family. Listen, we didn't get to choose our... Well, my daughter said we did. She said we got to choose the family. Most of us don't think that. However, your family is your family. Cancer, overindulgence will be a problem if you are not in a social setting. Sudden changes regarding your friendships are likely to occur if you try to change others. Don't fall into the trap. Listen, Cancer, you can't change anybody. Only person you can change is you. So stop trying. And don't expect people to be like you. That's a problem. Like whenever you expect, let me tell you something. Georgette is older than I am, and she's been married longer than I have. And I was having an issue. This was probably about 12, 15 years ago. And I'll never forget it. She said to me, you cannot expect him to think the way you think. I'll never forget that because that was a pivotal moment in my life that I realized, wow, I'm expecting him to do things the way I would do it because it's the way I would do it. That's not the way he would do it. She said you can't expect him to think the way you would think. And I'll never forget that. So Cancer, my point for sharing that is that, listen, stop trying to change people. They are who they are. You either accept them for who they are or not. And you have that choice. If you don't accept them for who they are, then it's time for you to move on to a different space. And I'm going to give y'all one quick story. And I don't have a lot because I got a guest coming on shortly. I'm in another mastermind with a bunch of women, which is funny. This was funny last night. Well, it's only about 40 of us that was in the call last night. And the call started at 6 o'clock. Mind you, I was supposed to be somewhere else at 6 o'clock. I did not get there because I didn't get off the call till 9 o'clock. on the call, there's this big project that we're part of, a huge project. I think it's pretty cool. Something I tried to start years ago. I didn't have the capital to do it. This person has the capital and the audience, so it's a lot easier. And I'm looking at that, I'm going, wow, I did this in 2013. I didn't have the capital to take it where she's going to take it. But she's really rough. She's rough around the edges, and she makes no apologies for being rough. There are people in the room who's a part of the group. So now, you know, when you get a bunch of women together, there's always going to be something going on. There were some people in the room who had some questions about some things. And they were saying they had questions about the way she was. Which, look, I knew the way she was when I followed her, right? And I followed her before, and I was like, ooh, she's rough. I'm rough. She's rougher, like 12 times. So they were saying, listen, we want to be a part of this, but the way you are, I don't know if I could be a part of it. And she's like, leave. Because I'm not changing. And that's the point. Like, you can't change other people. Like, you can either accept them for who they are or not. And here's the thing, that's not a bad thing. And she kept saying that, listen, it's not a bad thing if what I'm doing, if my brand is going to make you look bad. Because really, it's a possibility. Because you're rough. If my brand is going to make you look bad based on your brand, then this may not be the place for you. So I'm just sharing that story to say, Cancer, you can't change people. You either accept them for who they are or not. And here's the thing, change yourself. You can change the situation. Remove yourself. That woman had the opportunity to say, you know what, this not going to work for me. And my guess is she actually removed herself. That's my guess. Because she took a beating because the person is a little bit of a high profile person. And she has a tribe like Beyonce. And so I understood what she was saying, right? Because I had some of the same questions she had. And I was like, why am I getting this? I don't want this. Why am I getting an email about this? Well, it's attached to her brand. And until she said that, I was like, oh. But that wasn't said up front. So it's attached to her brand. She said, I cannot separate myself from my brand. This is who I am. And she has a rough brand. But she has a great following. And so there's a following for everybody. And you can't change her. You got to change yourself or remove yourself from the situation. I know that was a long response for Cancer, but I just had to share that. Leo, call someone who you haven't seen in a long time. Trying to deal with your mate will be unproductive and possibly hurtful. Those you live with may be experiencing problems. Yeah, call someone you haven't heard from a long time. Listen, things are going on right now. I don't have time to be mad at people. I don't have time to be, sad. I don't have time to be any of those things because time can be short. Time can be short. So the energy you put in not being happy, being mad, being jealous, it's crazy. I have someone right now who's mad at me, right? I have no reason. I don't have no idea why. And it's somebody I love very much. I have no idea why that person is mad at me. And when the other people try to figure out what it is, they won't say. And I'm like, well, what is it? Like, and I honest to God have no idea why. And I was like, listen, at the end of the day, I can't change why you're mad. I was trying to figure it out. And I'm talking about somebody that I would kill a rock for. That's what I'm talking about. And they are mad at me. And I don't know why. And we keep trying to get to the root of why. And so what I was told is it's probably not a reason. That person's just feeling really insecure about who they are. And they're just pissed off at themselves. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I don't know. Like, I don't know. Is it something I said? Is it something I did? And I'm thinking, I know. Because here's the thing, y'all. I really, really, really don't spend a lot of time on nonsense. Like, I don't. Because I don't have time. Like, my time is spent on what you see me doing right now. Working. 9 o'clock last night, I'm just eating dinner. Because I'm on a 3-hour call with people trying to change people. But it's about business, so I got to stay. I'm late getting on this morning because why? Because I'm on a mastermind call, promoting my new course, the Podcast University. I don't have the time. So I'm like, well, what did I do? And I just feel like, part of me feel like they're mad at themselves, and I was told by the other person that's very, 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 very even closer than I am to that person that they're mad at themselves. And I was like, okay, at the end of the day, I don't have time. Like, you figure it out. Come back when you figured it out, and I'm good. Keep going. Virgo, you may find yourself a bit frazzled if you allow someone to goad you into an unsavory debate. You must not let fellow workers take advantage of your fine talents. Your outgoing nature might work against you today. So listen, Virgo, your outgoing nature may not be the thing for you today. Not today. It may just work against you. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful about that. And you're going to be a little bit frazzled, because you may get into an unsavory debate. You never know. I try to avoid all that crap. That's why when I was thinking about going into politics, right? And I'm still not totally saying I won't ever do it. I'm just saying that I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to do that. Because you got to have that energy, right? Like, you got to have that fight energy, like cat fight energy. Because politics are crazy. They are nuts. They are crazy. And so you got to have that fight energy. All right, I'm going to the song. I'll be right back after the song to give you more of the horoscopes brought to you by noted astrologer Micah Thyssen. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's your girl, Audrey Bell Kearney, giving you the daily rundown, the daily horoscopes. I didn't get to the rundown yet. Brought to you by noted astrologer Micah Thyssen. We're going to pick it up with Libra. Don't be too eager to start any debates. Take time to listen to problems of family members. You can clear up important legalities and sign contracts today. Listen, don't be too eager to get into debates. Listen, that's a lot of energy you're going to expend. I'm trying to tell y'all now, it's too much energy when you got a debate. You put out, especially if it doesn't go your way, then you're going to be mad. Then you got to clear energy from being mad. First, you all riled up about the debate. Then you got to clear energy from being bad. So just try not to do that. All right, Scorpio, lend an ear to children. It can make a difference. You can experience delays in shipments or mail and should be careful while traveling. Unpleasant situations concerning family members will be unnerving. Listen, be careful. It's a retrograde. It's a Mercury retrograde right now, so be careful when you travel. Be careful with your technology. Be careful when you drive, and be careful. Just be careful, right? And try to handle those unpleasant situations. Sometimes you just need to be quiet and listen. Maybe you don't need to say anything. Just listen. That way it won't be too unpleasant. Sagittarius, investments are best left alone today. Your emotions will be touched off concerning recent encounters with your lover. Ask a close friend for advice. Man, there's a lot of debates and arguments today. What's the days of the full moon today? What's going on? You know how many horoscopes I've read so far that's got something with a debate or argument or somebody's emotionally unnerving? And oh my gosh, I'm afraid to get to Pisces. Capricorn, your interest could lead you down avenues you never realized existed. Don't let your mate annoy you. Patience will be the key. You will meet some interesting people if you attend promotional functions. All right, Capricorn, your interest could lead you down new avenues today. Yep, that you never knew existed. Sometimes you got to step outside of the box. Sometimes you got to do that. Yesterday I had a plan. I was going to go to this event yesterday early. I was going to leave that event and go to another event. But here's what happened. I was working on a training, putting the podcast university on a training platform that took up my whole day, and I didn't get a chance to do that. However, I knew I was going to meet some interesting people, so I'm going to do it next Wednesday and the Wednesday after that too. But maybe not that Wednesday because I think the person is on vacation. But next Wednesday, if they do it, I'll be there. Monday, I'll be there at one of those events. So go out, meet some new people, interesting people. You never know what happened. Aquarius, your attitudes at work will open up new avenues for you. Make plans to attend group discussions or get together with friends who like to talk as much as you do. Ooh, you may want to get involved in some kind of creative group. Listen, that sounds like that should be a Pisces horoscope today, but that's Aquarius. We're very close right there on that edge. Get together with people that like to talk as much as you do. That way you won't be over talking them, right? There's nothing worse than being in a crowd. You guys have nothing to talk about and everybody just like this. Or you're talking. Let me tell you something. When I talk tech, people just quiet down. I was on the call earlier and I was like, hey, got this program. Now to me, it sounds amazing. And to probably two other people, it sounds great. But it was so technical. People was like, you could hear crickets on the Zoom. It was hilarious. And I was like, because it's techie. What I was talking about is techie. And so, won't appeal to some. But some people like, yeah, I like that. Send me the affiliate link. And I did. I sent out a couple of affiliate links. And, hopefully I got some affiliates to help me promote the program. It's a great program. Especially if you're a podcaster. I'm going to reach out to a few other people to help me promote it. So that's exciting. All right, last but not least, my fellow fish Pisces. Problems with in-laws or relatives may be more damaging than you realize. You won't have much time for your mate today. You need to put great detail in everything you do. Into everything you do may cause you to miss the overall picture. You need to put great detail in everything you do. Okay, that sounds like me. Because I looked at my program, honestly, y'all. It said you need to put great detail in everything you do may cause you to miss the overall picture. Here's the thing. I'm doing this training program. It's a 5-week program, right? And I came down this morning and added something to the program that probably don't even need to be there. So I really know that that's probably me right there for sure. Now, in-laws, I don't have any in-laws. Unfortunately, I don't have in-laws. I don't have any. I don't know about you, fish, but you know what? Deal with your in-laws. Don't argue. They in-laws, if they're wrong, let them be wrong and move on. Who cares? As long as it's not really detrimental to what you're trying to do, you ain't got to be right. Just let them be right and move on. Let them go. Because sometimes just like you got to, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Sometimes you just got to okay. You don't have to say, you know it's wrong, but okay, go ahead. Yeah, I do that all the time. I don't even argue. Like, okay, cool. That's where you are. All right, cool. No problem. All right, listen, that's all the horoscopes I got for you today. I'll be back again tomorrow to bring you more of the horoscopes. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. I'll be back on Monday to bring you more of the horoscopes brought to you by noted astrologer Micah Thyssen. Now let's get on to some news you can use. So right now, guys, they really want to get the vaccine out to as many people as possible. So apparently, President Biden has said, you know what? We're going to give you some free beer if you take this vaccine. Yep, that's one of the things. Listen, they want the vaccine out. They want people to take it. So it's called a month of action, and they're continually pushing the public and the private sector partnerships to encourage Americans to roll up their sleeves and get the vaccine shot. So social media influencers, colleagues, celebrities, and community organizers, they're calling them to help spread the word about the benefits of the vaccination and to encourage them to get the shot. So apparently, there are going to be some beer given out as well. Beer. Like, I don't know, maybe if they would have said crabs. I already got my shots, though. So to date, 62.8% of all adults population have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. That's a lot. 62.8%. and 133.6 million are fully vaccinated. I happen to be one of those, and my family. The rate of new vaccinations has slowed again to an average of about 600,000 per day, down from 800,000 per day when the incentives such as lotteries were announced, and down from the peak of nearly 2 million per day in early April when demand for the shots was much higher. So it's down to 600,000 per day right now. But it had been as high as 2 million. So right now, Anheuser-Busch announced on Wednesday morning that it will buy Americans 21 plus a round of beer once Biden's 70% goal is met through a promotional giveaway on its website that will provide $5 credits to the first 200,000 people to respond when the nation reaches the vaccine threshold. So the goal is to get that number 62.8% to 70%. And when we do that, now let me tell y'all something. I'm a business person, right? I get it. I get the whole get the vaccine. We want to reward you. But I also know that for Anheuser-Busch, this is a great PR play right here. That's what I do know. For people who don't know that, that's what that is. That's a great PR play because, listen, everybody's going to write about it. I'm talking about it. I'm media. I'm talking about it. It's in the AJC, probably in the USA Today, probably New York Times, probably all those newspapers today because that's a PR play. And I ain't mad at Anheuser-Busch. Do what you got to do to grow your business. And so they have attached themselves, and I didn't even think about that. That's a really good PR play. I should have been giving away something. They have attached themselves to the goal of getting to that 70%. And because of that, they're encouraging the first 200,000 people to do that, to go to their website. They're going to get a $5 credit so they can get some beer. I ain't mad at Anheuser-Busch. Do what you got to do. I love it. And not only that, it's going to help a lot more people get vaccinated. So that's going to help us be a little bit more safer. I know people are scared of the vaccine. Listen, I was one of them. Until it hit my family, I was like, I ain't doing it. Even when the person that I love so much in this world said, I'm getting the vaccine, I was like, I ain't getting the vaccine. And what did I have to do? I had to get the vaccine because I lost one of the people I love dearly from the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, with my everything. Anyway, speaking of the vaccine, Gwinnett County Public Schools is no longer requiring face masks on all school campuses and district offices. The district announced the change in response to last week's executive order by Governor Brian Kemp that says districts cannot use the statewide COVID-19 emergency declaration to mandate masks. So now your kids can go to school, they don't have to wear masks. Whew, Lord, just get them vaccinated. Yeah, get them vaccinated. I know they can be vaccinated now. So vaccines are available right now for children 12 and older. So get your children vaccinated. The smaller ones, not yet. They haven't gotten that far yet. But for the 12 and older, yeah, you can get your kids vaccinated. They don't have to wear a mask anymore in the school. Listen, all I can say is I got vaccinated. I've said it a million times why. When it comes to children, babies can be carriers. They can, unfortunately. So if your older children are going to school, and here's the other thing too. If you don't know if your child or you have any underlying issues, you may want to just get checked out for that too, because a lot of times people got sick because they had underlying issues that they didn't know about. Even me, I'm pretty healthy. My blood pressure teeters on high, right? But for the most part, I'm pretty healthy. When I got coronavirus, man, my lungs, my chest felt like somebody was like in my throat. And I kept saying to it was like my throat. I kept saying to my husband, man, my throat hurt. It was my throat. But in reality, it was my lungs. But it felt like it was my throat. And so I got to the point where I could not get out of bed. I could barely breathe. All I could do was lay in one spot like this. And they told you not to do that. But I couldn't do anything else. So apparently whatever issue I had affected me strongly. My husband, it didn't affect him. My daughter wasn't affected like that. My brother had like flu-like symptoms for like a couple of days. But me personally, I developed that whole lung and chest thing. And it wasn't nice. So I'm going to keep saying get the vaccine. It's up to you. That's all I'm saying. All right, Norcross is ready to get back to having some fun. I know, we all are. Yeah, Norcross residents are invited to hang out with the city officials over hamburgers and hot dogs on Saturday. Yes, if you live in Norcross, they want you to come out. The city council will host the first cookout with the council. That's cool. Cookout with the council. This is why I love Gwinnett County. So the city council will hold its first cookout with the council event at 3 p.m. at the Thrasher Park Pavilion. Guests will be able to learn about what's going on in their community, share their vision for the future of the Gwinnett City with their mayor, Craig Newton, and council members. So the mayor and the council members are going to be having a cookout this coming Saturday at 3 o'clock at Thrasher Park Pavilion. And you, citizens of Norcross, can get out and share your comments, your thoughts, whatever you want to do with the mayor and the councilman. I love it, y'all. I love it. I think it's amazing. These are the type of things that I love. That's why I love Gwinnett. Y'all know it is. All right, so listen, that's the rundown for the day. I got a guest. I'm going to bring him on because I'm interested. I'm interested in learning more about drones. And listen, my mom bought me a drone. I'm a geek, y'all. I keep telling y'all I'm a geek. I'm for real life geek. I got gadgets all over my house. I walk with gadgets. I'm a geek. So I'm excited about this guest that's about to come on. So listen, I'll be back on Monday to bring you more of the rundown about what's going on in and around Gwinnett County. But now I got to get on with my show so we can learn about drones and why you may want one. I'm excited about that because I had one. I got to tell y'all the story when I bring the guests on. So I had a drone. My mom bought it for me because she know I like drones. So I'm gonna bring my guest on, and then we're gonna talk drones. We're gonna talk the game of drones. First of all, I love that the game of drones. Play on them words, y'all. Listen, I'm a businesswoman. I love it. So my guest today is Mr. Lawrence Johnson. He is the CEO of Game of Drones. He takes amazing drone photography and videography. We're gonna talk to him about how he got into that space, why he got into that space, and how you may want to get into that space. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Mr. Lawrence. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Fine. How are you today?
I'm great. Listen, I got to tell you a quick drone story. So I'm a geek. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm a geek. I love gadgets. And my mom bought me a drone for Christmas. And I was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, I got a drone. And my husband flew it and broke it. Like the same day. Mm-hmm. He flew it into the wall and and then we couldn't find him. It was crazy. And I was like, you broke my drone. And he never got me another one. So he owes me. But he'll tell you he don't owe me, but he owes me. He owes me. Well, welcome to the Good Morning Gwinnett show. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Doing well.
So give us a little background before we get into how you started the game of drones, which I actually love. I love that. That's good. Some good branding right there. I like it. How did you get in? What did you do before this?
It started, I was in Walmart with my wife, and we were in the electronics department, and we were standing at the register. This was back in 2017, 2018. And I just happened to glance around, and they had a display case over their drones. And I said to her, I always wanted one of those. They said they're becoming real popular, That this was maybe October. So that Christmas, under the tree was a box for me, and open it up, it was a drone.
Oh, nice.
One of the DJI Spark drones. And I, got it out and said, "Well, this is really cool." And I, got it registered and everything. Took some pictures. Said, "This is really, really cool." And about that same time, I started seeing these advertisements for a company that was coming to Atlanta to do a seminar on starting a drone business, and what you could do with that. And I said, "Well, I got this." And I was already I'm a graphic designer by trade. Photography was always a hobby of mine. So I said, well, let me go check this out. And I was very impressed with what they presented and everything there, and said, well, let me go ahead and see what I can do with this. And it's getting there. I love it. It's one of those jobs where, where they say you should have fun. It's that type of work.
I can tell you this, and as I sit here thinking, now I feel like I need to go get me a new drone, because when I read your bio, the first thing I said was, so let me give you some, so right now, right, what I did was, my husband bought me a really nice camera. Well, okay, it's nice for me, maybe a photographer, like that's a piece of junk, but it's my camera, I think it's pretty nice. So what I did was, I went out and I took 100 pictures. I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm on Instagram every day without being on Instagram every day, because I don't have the time. So I went out and I went around Gwinnett County. I took about 150 pictures. Took about 150 pictures, but I loaded 100 pictures into my Instagram, and it goes out. A picture goes out every day at 6:00, and it says, "What are you grateful for today?" Right. So I put that in my Instagram, and I put in 100, so it ends in August. So I got to go get some more. When I read your bio, I was like, okay, I think I need to get me a new drone and take 100 videos and put 100 videos out next month and for the rest of the year. And I thought about that, and I think that's so cool. I think the fact that you said, you know what, I like this and I'm having fun with this, and you're probably very creative. You're a graphic artist. How have you decided? How have you made that into a business? And does that complement your graphic art business? Are you, first of all, are you a graphic art entrepreneur?
No. I had I went to college for graphic design and web design, and I've worked with the state of Georgia as a web developer, and it does help a lot with when I'm doing photography. I'll get, say, for instance, real estate agents that want a short clip video of a home or something, and you have to, you can throw in the graphic design aspect of it, and it really helps it out.
And I like that. I think that when I think about drones, I think about real estate people, because I realized when I was going to be a realtor, when I first moved back, I was born in Georgia, but I was raised in Jersey, and I moved back to Georgia 8 years ago. And I was going to do real estate. And for me, I think outside of the box. Like, I'm always outside of the box. So for me, a drone is like the perfect thing. And I also said, I'm going to get the Matterport. That's the 360 camera that you put inside the house. I'm going to get the Matterport. So this was my marketing for my real estate business. And that's what I was going to do. And I took that freaking test, though, Lawrence, and missed about 7 points. And I was like, oh, forget this crap. I'm not doing that. Do something else. But I got to tell you this. I went to my nephew's football game. He's going to be playing for Grayson High School. We're a football family. We love football. And the drone came right to our face, like it was crazy. And people were like, what is that? What is that? And I knew it was a drone. I was like, oh, that's so cool. But what happened when they had 2 or 3 flying around the field so they can get all the aerial views. So as an entrepreneur in this space, and you're building a business in this space, how has that been for you? Because a lot of people are afraid of technology. I was talking earlier about they're afraid of technology. And when you see this little thing flying around looking crazy, how has that been for you?
Well, speaking of that, in my neighborhood, we have, they have the next door, the neighborhood thing that you sign up for. Yes. Someone had posted, and this wasn't me, that someone was flying a drone over their house, spying on them, or that type of thing. I had to answer the post saying, okay, well, first of all, because people have the misconception, like you say, they're afraid of, they see these things on the movies, on television, where the drone comes in and it goes into your house and it's taking pictures of you, which that's television and movies. In actuality, you can't do that. Really, you can't do that with a drone. I can't sit here and send my drone a mile away from me to look at your house. But there's so many different fields that I use it in for business that people don't even think about. Cell tower inspections, roofing inspections. I do a lot of stuff for billboard companies in the Atlanta area. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Outfront. You probably see their billboards. They're all over Metro Atlanta, hundreds, thousands of them. And you might be driving by and you might think you're seeing a bird or something up there flying by it. And it might be a drone sometimes, because you have to have either video clip or picture of that billboard for the person who's buying the advertisement. So you do things like that. Again, of course, real estate is a real big, like you said, a real big market for it. You really can't have. It's almost like a must-have now to have that drone, that nice drone shot, because you just see a different perspective, and that's in anything. I've done birthday parties, weddings. Where I was just out at Piedmont Park a couple of weeks ago for a kid's birthday, and they were having a Nerf war type thing. So I had the drone, flying around, chasing them and filming them and so forth. It's unreal. Warehouse. I do inside warehouses filming, construction site progression, where you can program the drone to go to a certain spot either take a picture, take a video, move to another spot, take a picture, take a video, and do that, on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're building say a supermarket, a public supermarket center or something, you can go there week by week throughout the whole construction process, and they've got a image or video that they can see just how far along it's getting week by week. And at the end, you can throw it all together, and you've got one of those kind of time lapse things that you see sometimes on like National Geographic, where the plant's growing real fast or something like that. So yeah, the possibilities of it are unlimited. And what you're going to start seeing within the next, say, 15 to 20 years are going to be the drone air taxis.
Now, what is that?
Where you are actually flying in a vehicle from space to space, say on a 20 to 50 mile radius, in either a remote controlled vehicle or a piloted vehicle. And so that's the type of, and they're already testing this stuff out. I believe in Orlando they just set one up to do that. It's like a 7-seater or 8-seater type thing. So
what's crazy? What's crazy,
mind-blowing.
It is mind blowing. It's so funny. I remember back in 2000. I think it was 2008. I think it was 2008. My mom was in the hospital. She had a Wills tumor in her neck. And my brother and I were in the waiting room waiting for her to come out of surgery. And I said to her, I said, boy, I'm telling you right now, you're going to see flying cars. And he's like, we're never going to see that. I said, listen, we're going to see them flying cars. And so I think it might have been 2013. 5 years later, there was an article in I want to say it was a really upscale magazine that I had kind of snatched from the doctor office, and it had the flying car in there. And I took a picture and I sent it to my brother. I was like, I told you we're going to see it. And he's like, that's crazy. But I follow technology like that, so I know. Now let me ask you this, because as you're talking, my mind is like going a mile a minute. I'm thinking like, wow, this is great. Do you need a certain license to fly a drone? Do you need, because like, I feel like that's kind of almost being like a pilot, like you're piloting a plane or a helicopter. Do you need a license for that?
Yes, you do. You need to. There's two types of drone pilots. You have a commercial pilot, which I am, and you have a recreational pilot. Mm-hmm. Recreational pilot does not need to have the license. You do have to be 13 years or older, and you have to follow certain rules. Now, if you're getting compensated in any way for it, you become a commercial pilot. Oh. You have to have a license from the FAA. You have to have the FAA license. You have to take a test. And most of the test is not about drones. It's about airspace and planes and that type of thing. So you have to renew it every 2 years.
How hard is the exam? Is it a hard exam?
It's not that hard. The most difficult part of it is that they have what's called the air map, and it's got all these symbols and different color circles which tell you what type of airspace you're in and how high this is and how high that is. You have to learn those. You have to learn those symbols and what they mean. And there are a few questions on the test about that. I think it's a 70-question test. You have to pass with a 70% accuracy on the test. And again, you have to renew that every 2 years.
That's so nice. Now, is it a certain height that you can fly? Because I've seen a drone fly really high, and I was like, boy, that's pretty high right there. Is it a certain height that drones can fly, that they have to stay within a certain space? I'm sure it is. What is that? Yeah,
legally it's 400 feet.
Okay.
And the 400 feet can be, now if I'm on top of Arabia Mountain, mm-hmm. which is maybe 200 feet high, I can legally fly 400 feet above that.
Okay.
But usually the limit is 400 feet. Now the drone will fly higher than that, but there's on the commercial drones, there are settings on it that you enable that it'll tell you, okay, hey, you're getting close. Okay, we're here, and it won't even go up any higher than that. There are also the drone will also tell you if I'm in what's called no-fly zones. If you're within 5 miles of an airport and you're in what's called Class C or Class D airspace, it might pop up and say this is a no-fly zone. You've got to have permission. Do this. You've got to submit either paperwork or do it by an app to allow you to fly in that area. And sometimes it's only to a certain, the 400 feet will be less. If I'm in Marietta area, because Dobbins is close, I've flown out there a couple times, you have to get permission from Dobbins to fly, and they may only let you go up to like 100 feet or 150 feet, depending on how close you are to the airport.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So, I'm thinking, my mind is really going because I'm thinking about all these things at once. So, what would make somebody lose their drone flying license? Because I feel like it's a driver's license, which it is. What would be one of the reasons you would get suspended to lose your license?
Yeah, you can think of it just like having your driver's license. If you're got your driver's license and you're driving under the influence, you can get your license suspended or taken away. Same thing with the drone. If you're flying over a crowded area of people directly above traffic without permission or without the knowledge of the people, saying, "Oh, so it's okay," you can get in trouble for that. If you're flying in no-fly zones, if you do stuff like there's a way you can go in and unlock your drone to fly there, but if you get caught, there's severe penalties, fines, and even jail time for stuff like that.
Wow!
Because again, you're thinking of you've got this thing up in the air that even though it's only maybe 2 or 3 pounds, that if it falls 400 feet and hits somebody's car while they're driving down 85 or whatever, that's going to cause some damage.
Yeah, that is it. Now, let me ask you this. You said flying over a group of people, because I told you we were at the football game and they had like 3 or 4 of them. Now, is that a different situation? Because do people know that the drones, I don't think people really care.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me was the guy flew the drone right into people's faces like this. And I was like, literally came up in the bleachers and it was like right there. So I don't know if people say, okay, I'm okay with it. Because I've never been to a football game, and trust me, I've been to many, that there was a image release that says you can fly your drone and it's okay, or take a picture of me. Is that just automatically assume that this is an event where there's going to be cameras and taking videos and footage, so there's no cause for you to try to cause a problem for the person that's flying the drone?
Right there, that might have been the case where they had a release. Again, you never know in that situation. If you were concerned about it, you would ask the people who are in charge there if they've got permission to do this or whatever. But again, you can get releases to do that type of stuff. So again, you see in the movies now, you've always got these car chase scenes where it seems like the camera's like right there. Well, that's because it's a drone that's following the car. So and of course, in those situations, they've got all the proper paperwork, they've got all the releases, and so it's fine.
I saw this girl the other day on Instagram. She was in Santorini. When I tell you, Lawrence, though, it was beautiful, and I was like, she got to have a drone because the way the hotel or wherever she was staying, it was up on a mountain. It was all white. It was so beautiful. But the way the video was shot, it was right up in her face, and then you just see it pulling back. And pulling, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And I was like, I have to go to Santorini. Like, just from looking at that, I called my daughter. I was like, look at this. I sent it to her, and she's like, yeah. I said, I didn't know where it was. She said, oh, I know exactly where that is. I said, where is it? She said, that's Santorini. I want to go to Greece. That's on my list. And I was like, really? She's like, it was so beautiful. And I realized she has a drone, and she put her drone to work. Do you hear me? She had shots all over the place. It was so beautiful. And I was like, that is amazing. I think about, as a business owner, using this technology. Apparently the one I got for Christmas was not a great one because it ran into the wall and it broke instantly. So it wasn't a great one. But I'm thinking about right now, I want to go out and take aerial shots to put on my Instagram for the next 100 days. So what kind of drones should I get, and how expensive are they? Because my mom bought it. I never asked how much it cost. I just know my husband ran into the wall. What kind of drone should I get if I want to do that? Do I need a recreational license or a commercial? And how much are they?
The brand that I use is called DJI. They're one of the top brands of drones out there. They've got they have drones anywhere from $399 or $299 up to $9,000. Mm-hmm. The $399 drone will shoot great pictures, video in 4K. When you put it, if you have it on your computer or you cast it to your television, mm-hmm. It looks, just like movie quality.
Wow.
They have all this. Can you see this one?
Yes, I can. Thanks. Yeah.
This is I just got this drone a couple of weeks ago. This is called the DJI FPV drone, and it comes with goggles. So if I'm flying this drone, I've got the goggles on, and I have what's called FPV, first person view. I'm seeing what the drone's seeing at the time.
Okay.
This drone right here cost about $1,300.
Wow. Okay.
That's with the goggles. You have a remote control.
How much does that one weigh?
Drones, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How much does that one weigh? Because it looks small. How much does it weigh?
Yeah, this one. Right now the battery's not in it. This drone is no more than 2 pounds.
Okay.
With the battery in it.
Okay.
Maybe less. This is real light. Once you throw that battery in, it's a little heavier. It has a flight time of about 20 minutes.
Okay.
The drone that I use for mostly for my business has a flight time of about 30 minutes, and that is called a Mavic 2 Zoom and a Mavic 2 Pro. The Mavic 2 Zoom and a Mavic 2 Pro, those run you about $1,600. But they're good quality drones. They have what's called, and what might have helped you in your situation, they have something called obstacle avoidance. It detects when you get close to something, it'll stop.
Oh, I like that.
Let's see here. That right there, those right there,
yeah,
are sensors on this drone. Doesn't have backs. Now this one doesn't have as many sensors as the Mavic does. Mm-hmm. The Mavic has them on the front, on the bottom, on the back. So if I'm doing some video, I get close to a tree, it'll start beeping, then it'll stop.
That is so freaking cool, man. Now, my mind is going, and I got to ask you this question because I can see you doing this. Is it just you right now?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself scaling this and like creating a team of people? Because I can see that. Like I can see and I give you a prime example. One of my friends is a insurance adjuster, and he had me cracking up. So anytime there's a major storm in the country, they are swamped with work. So they had a storm, I guess, in New Orleans, and he's here in Georgia. They had a storm in New Orleans, and he had to work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, so they can get the insurance, I guess, the payments out or whatever. But he said that somebody went to a house, and he said a guy just must have got on the ladder and took the picture like this. Like he did not do the whole. He just took so you can see like just the front part of the picture, and they wanted to pay, and he was like, "We're not paying that. We can't even see anything." But because the storm was so horrific, they just went ahead and paid the claim anyway. I can see this being a business where you got a team of people and they do all kinds of stuff, like roof inspections and all the things you said. I feel like that's like a business that'll get a huge government contract. But have you thought about scaling that?
Yes, I have. And there are networks that you can become part of. Last year, I think I had a realtor in Atlanta who had some property in Texas that she wanted taken pictures of, and I reached out to someone in Texas, and I learned a lesson. It was my first time doing it. Mm-hmm. Is to make sure they know what they're doing, because I did it and reached out to the guy. And he went out there and he stood on a building with a cell phone or something and took these grainy pictures.
That's what he said. He was like, "We're not paying that claim." He said it because the way the guy took it with the phone, He only had like part of the roof and it was slanted. And which means he did not go up on the roof. He went up on the ladder and did like this and took the picture. But I could see if I was an inspector and I don't like to get on top of roofs, I would just go stand in the yard and fly my like that gives me like if I'm not in the field, that to me makes sense. Like why would I go up on a ladder at all when I could just fly my drone?
Yeah, just think of the safety aspect of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to climb up on the roof anymore. On a cell tower or a power transformer outside, you don't have to climb up on that. You can send a drone up it, circle around it, take crystal clear pictures of it, and have it right there.
What is some of the?
So they're great.
What is some of the most interesting things you shot with the drone?
Some of the most interesting things. Well, first of all, let me tell you, in August I'm going down to St. Thomas, a Virgin Island.
Yes.
So I'm going to have some great shots.
Oh yeah.
But some of the most interesting things I've taken shots of have been where you're inside these giant warehouses that they're constructing, where you really don't realize how huge these things are till you go inside when there's nothing in it yet.
Right.
When you're taking those things, anything in nature, when you're out in the parks or the mountains or at the wineries or whatever, that just gives it a whole different aspect when you've got a 4K camera 200 feet above or 300 feet above everything, and you get that picture or that video of it. It's just you really don't have to have the graphic skill because this thing does it all.
I was just in Sedona a few weeks ago. I don't know if you've ever been to Sedona. It's beautiful. It's magical. It's beautiful. So many red mountains, all kinds of, and it's crazy because the way they're made, it's like somebody just took a chisel and like chiseled them out, but they were just naturally formed that way. I'm sitting here thinking, if I had a drone, oh my God, the footage I would have had. I went up on, let me tell you something, Lawrence. They got me to hike. I've never been hiking a day in my life. I hiked up a mountain and I hiked down to the bottom of a mountain. But when I went up to the top, it was just red mountains everywhere. It was beautiful. And I'm thinking, man, if I had a drone, now I'm going back. Because first I was like, I'm not going back there. Because it was just a long drive. You had to drive from Phoenix to Sedona because there's no airport. And that's a 2-hour drive. So we flew in 3.5 hours to Phoenix. Then we had to drive 2 hours to get to Sedona. And by the time we got there, I was like, I'm not doing this again. But once we got there and just drove around and went on the hikes and the trails, I was like, we're coming back. Had I had a drone, I would have been a beast.
Yeah.
I would have been a beast.
Exactly.
That thing is a beautiful. So let me ask you this. So you said that the drones, they have 20-minute time limits and 30-minute time limits. Are there some that have longer time limits that they could fly?
Yeah. You have some that have up to 45 minutes, but again, then you're jumping up into the $3,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 range for a drone. So, but I found that the 30 minutes usually the one that's 20 to 30 minutes usually is ample time for what you want to do. Another good feature of the DJI drones is that it will tell you if I for instance, if I were to take my drone right now and go fly over the lake here where I live, and just let it fly or do whatever, take some pictures. Once the battery gets down to a certain level, when it takes off, it marks what's called a home spot. However far away it is, it calculates how much battery times it has to get back to that spot. So if I'm out and my battery's getting low, it'll say, well, it'll start beeping again, and it'll say, well, the drones in 10 seconds, the drones return into home because you don't have enough battery to do that. It'll come back, do its little thing, and land within a couple of feet of where it took off.
That's cool. Now, My biggest fear is that some kind of way I'll be flying my drone. I didn't get a chance to really fly it because it got broke before I got a chance. But I'm gonna get me a new one now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna get me a new one. And I'm flying my drone, and for some reason it just drops. Does that happen? And if it does, why does that happen? I mean, outside of the battery being dead.
It happens. It doesn't happen as often as it used to because the technology's got a lot better. Mm-hmm. But it happens because you lose the radio signal between the drone and the controller.
Okay.
Now, sometimes if you're if you're in downtown with lots of buildings, lots of other signals being shot around and stuff, you might lose a signal, but again, it has established its home point.
Okay.
And again, if it gets to the point of where the battery's not enough, it's getting low, it'll return to home even if you've lost that signal. When you take off, it tells you how many satellites are tracking your drone. It might say 15 are tracking this drone or whatever. So back in the old days of drones, say 5 years ago. That might have happened a lot. I've heard a story about DJI drones. DJI is based in China, and people would get a drone and hit return to home, and the drone would just go and disappear.
To the real house.
It was trying to go back to China.
Wow.
the original home point had been. But they don't do stuff like that anymore.
Wow. That's crazy. That's nuts. So let me ask you this. How did you get the name? What made you decide to name the company? I love it. The House of Drones.
Yeah. I was a fan of the show Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Game of Thrones.
While I was at the seminar on the maybe the next to the last day, I said, well, I'm going to do this. I started thinking of, okay, well, yeah, I can do this. I got to get a name. And Game of Drones just popped in it just popped in my head. And as soon as I got home, I looked up to see if there was any corporations or LLCs registered in Georgia with that name. And there were not, to my surprise.
That is a cool one. When I saw that, I was like, that is so cool.
I get that every customer I go to, yeah, I love your name. I said, yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I almost can visualize. See, so listen. Just in case you haven't noticed yet, I love everything geeky and entrepreneurial, and I'm outside of the box on your business right now. I'm thinking outside the box. Like, listen, you need to come up with some characters for the Game of Drones, and they all need to be armored drones. This is me thinking outside the box right now. Like, I can just see that happening. Like, that's why I asked you. Did you ever see yourself scaling and like having a team of people? Because I really it's so many. Like, I don't know where you live, but I'm in Gwinnett County. And there's so much development going on right now. I'm talking about it's just an influx of people. My brother moved here, and I've been here for 8 years. He just moved here in November, right? And he's been coming for 8 years. I'm coming. He done looked at many of houses that he could have just bought, but he just kept going back to Jersey and dragging his feet. Now he's here. He can't get a house. It's like every time we put a bid on the house, people bid like $100,000 over the price. And so I just feel like it's going to be so many people and so many opportunities to grow. Even though the pandemic was horrific, it has been a horrific thing. It touched my life. I lost my mom in January to it. I still see the good side of all what's happening. Like, I just feel like we're in a space right now where we could just make anything happen. Like, the pandemic sent us all home. Because of that, there are millions of online jobs right now. They can't even fill regular jobs because people are like, no, what? I can stay home and work because I'm doing it. They think it's unemployment, but people have stayed home for the last year and they've learned how to sell stuff online and do things like that. Do you ever see yourself having a course where you teach people? Because I want to learn, and I would definitely take your course, your class, teaching people how to use drones and how to use them effectively.
One of the next steps I was thinking of, there's a piece of software. It's a flight simulator for drones, and again, this is DJI makes this flight sim for all its drones that you can you log into it, you use it, and it's just like flying the drone. Whether it's the one I showed you here or one of the larger drones. So yeah, that's one of the aspects I'm looking at next of doing, and plus also expand because I'm getting to the point now where because it's more than just going out and taking a picture and recording a video. All that stuff has to be edited and put together. Sometimes you have to throw the music to it, label all of it. It's really that's the most time consuming part of it.
Yeah.
The flying and taking the pictures is easier. To putting it together into a package is the time consuming part.
So you do that part too?
Yeah.
Really?
I do the video editing, the photoshopping, all that stuff.
Listen,
that's where the graphic design element all came in.
So if you had to pick between the two, if you had to pick between getting the video and the footage and the photos and doing the editing and the graphic side, which one would you pick?
Doing the video and the photos.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. I have a whole like right now we're streaming live on Roku, right? I have this whole internet thing, and I go live because I hate editing, and it's a shame, and I'm sad to say it, but I hate editing, and so we go live because I hate editing, and it's so funny because people like, you do a live show 4 days a week, and I be like, yes, and they be like, but why? I said because I hate editing. I hate it. Georgette edits all her shows. Me, you're going to get what you're going to get. So I understand. But I know when you're working for clients, you have to give them a nice polished package. So let me tell you right now, Georgette says she loves editing. Does she? Hey, G, she's watching us live on the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I told my husband I was going to take photography classes, but you have got me excited. So when you get the class set up for the drone class, I want to go shoot drone. Let me ask you this. Is there a way, is it certain lighting on the drone? Because I think about night photography, right? They got different lenses and different lighting and all this kind of stuff. On that drone, is there lighting to make you, to be able to do night recording?
Yes. Now now let's go back to what we talked about earlier about the rules.
Okay.
Legally, you're only supposed to fly 30 minutes before sunrise to 30 minutes after sunset.
Oh.
But you can get an exception to do that. Again, you have to submit to the FAA to say, I'm going to do some night shots. And again, the cameras on these are so good that you can, especially if you're doing like cityscapes or whatever, that's enough lighting for the lenses on these cameras.
Wow.
To where you don't have a lot of grainy, because when you're shooting at dark, if you really don't have a good camera lens, you're going to get some grainy footage. But the cameras on these drones now, again, are the camera on my Mavic and the camera on my Nikon camera are just about the same quality.
Okay.
The Nikon camera, the sensor might be a little bit bigger, but the quality is just as good.
Nice. So, listen, I'm loving it. I could stay here all day and talk to you about this because I'm loving it. And I'm telling you that when you get that class going, you say, Audrey, I'm about to launch, even if it's like a meetup, Lawrence, whatever it is, because I know that there are groups of people that meet up, they do different things. We're in like the Black Hollywood down here, so that's another thing. We are in Black Hollywood. Have you gotten any customers from the movie sector down here? Because we're big down here.
Yeah, that's another field that I'm trying to get into. I am set up on the Georgia Film site, as they have where you can register your house for filming locations, but you can also register your services. And Game of Drones is registered as a service on their site. But that's another field that I want to get into also. Yeah,
that's big too. My daughter is in a web series right now, and she's been doing, like, she likes that whole film thing. She works for a tech company, an IT company, and it's weird because the IT company that she works for, they do GPS. It's a GPS company with video, and so and a trucking company, so they get a lot of crazy videos. And she said to me, that company gets so much crazy videos that they have to take mental days off because if a trucker seriously, she said that they saw a guy, the trucker was driving on the highway, there was a guy standing in the middle of the highway with a gun. He jumps on this trucker's car. He breaks the window. I guess the guy hit the brakes and then he got ran over. They saw the whole thing. So when they see crazy stuff like that, they got unlimited mental days. I was like, what in the world? It's it's an IT company, but they use a lot of GPS video and a lot of the content that they record daily, hourly. Mm-hmm. If the police needs it, they can just call a company and pull the video. So I just feel like I see so many opportunities in this space. And I know you're in a good place right now. Me personally, I'm thinking about how to make my podcast pop even more. Like, you know, I look at what I'm doing right now. I don't know if you've ever heard of Cheddar, but I can't. Yes. So Cheddar is like the model that I like. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm getting there. But I'm always looking at how to make this different. Like Good Morning Gwinnett is a very hyper local podcast, and I feel like if I get me a drone and I learn how to use it, because Lauren's going to train me, it's going to pop off the page after that. Right. So, yeah. So listen, listen, I'm serious. When you tell me, Audrey, I'm just going to start out with a meetup, let me know. And I'm like, I'm going to get my drone, Lawrence, and I'll be there. I'm serious. I will be there. Like, long as it's not Thursday, because I bowl on Thursday, so I got a bowling night. I need to take the drone and fly inside the bowling alley and start a podcast called Pinheads or something. They probably kick me out, Audrey, get out. How can people contact you if they want to use your services? Because I think they're amazing.
Again, you can go to my website, which is game-of-drones.net. At my website, by phone at 678-464-1277, or email gameofdronesllc@gmail.com. And you can contact me at all those venues.
Have you found that you've been overwhelmed with work right now? Because I think this is amazing.
Yeah. Again, I do the as a matter of fact, after today, I've got maybe 12 billboards to go to. I've got a brief video shot for a realtor, and I might have I have another realtor that I do. She sells acreage for businesses and so forth, which is, again, with the drone, you can see everything, where it's close to, how far the interstate is from it, what type of traffic it gets, so forth. I might have to do something with her today too. I know I have like three. She has like 3 more properties that she's selling that I'm doing for her. I might have to do one today. Depends on what the clouds do today.
Do you have to edit all of that footage, or is it just some footage that you have to edit?
I have to edit all of it.
Oh wow! Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a busy boy.
I know, and I'm sitting here thinking. I'm sitting here thinking of ways that make you even busier. Like, lady, leave me alone. I'm already too busy. But I have some ideas. I'm gonna shoot you an email because I do have some other ideas that I think we could probably do some things together on. And we could talk about it over lunch or something when you got a minute. Because I just love this space, and I feel like I'm working with a couple of people. I'm working with a nonprofit right now, so I'm thinking on that side. I'm doing some stuff with the DA here in Gwinnett County and a filmmaker. I'm thinking on that side. So I'm kind of thinking about some things that we may be able to partner on. And but I'll contact you. I'm gonna contact you. Okay. And maybe we can do lunch or something, or dinner or something, and I can kind of just share with you what I'm thinking, and you can tell me I don't have time, or yes, it's a great thing, let's do it. So I'll reach out to you.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right,
definitely interested.
Okay, cool. All right, so again, give them that telephone number again so they can reach out to you.
678-464-1277.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being my guest today. Listen, I'm looking forward to doing whatever you're going to say do. and I'm looking forward to possibly working together. And I'm going to go look up. I wrote them down. The DJ, the DJI, and the FPV. I wrote them down because I was like, I'm going to get me a new drone. I got to get some new video.
Go to DJI.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. This has been great. I will definitely be in contact with you. And you go ahead, do your work. I'm going to go to my last song and close it out. And I'll be in contact with you pretty soon.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, Audrey, for your time. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, listen, guys. Game of Drones. Check them out. I'm telling you, it's going to be cool. We're going to do some... I know me. I think outside the box. I don't live inside of a box. I live outside the box. So... check out Game of Drones. If you need, listen, you want to make your wedding pop, have a drone fly over it and let Lawrence come and edit it and make it beautiful. Go check them out. All right, thanks, Lawrence. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to my last song. I'll be back after this song to give you my word of inspiration for the day. So make sure to stay tuned because you don't want to miss that. You listen, think outside the box. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Not sure I understand it, but everything seems brighter now than before. I don't know why I feel this way, but every time I hear your name, all my worries disappear. Yeah, it's all because of you. I feel the way I do. Fall in love so easily, 'cause I don't wear my heart up on my sleeve. Yeah. I don't know if you feel the same, but every time I hear your name, my worries disappear. It's all because of you. I feel the way I do. It's all because of you, because of you, because of you.
Welcome back. So listen, guys, that's all I got for you today. But before I go, I want to give you my words of inspiration. Here goes. Where there's no struggle, there's no strength. Oh, that was pretty simple. Let me say it again. Where there's no struggle, there's no strength. And my girl Oprah Winfrey said that, and she was right. Listen, in order to build a muscle, you got to exercise. And check this out. If you're trying to build a muscle, guaranteed that when you try to lift up them barbells, there's a struggle. Unless you're lifting up like a pound, there's no struggle, there's no strength. But when you trying to lift that 100 pounds, Yeah, that's a struggle. And guess what that does? That builds your strength. Sometimes you have to go through some things so you can get through some things so you can make some things happen. Oh my goodness, I said that myself. Sometimes you have to go through some things so you can get some things so you can make things happen. Listen, I'm not telling you to struggle, but I'm telling you that if it's something that you're trying to build, you're going to have to struggle a little bit. And don't worry about the struggle. The struggle is real, and it can be good. It really can, because there's some great things that could come out of a struggle. Listen, there are great things that come out of struggle every day. Sometimes for you, getting up in the morning is a struggle. But here's the thing. At the end of that struggle, for some of you, it's a paycheck. At the end of that struggle, for some of you, it's a way to get up and move your body. Listen, I was supposed to get up this morning at 5:30 to exercise. That was a struggle. I ain't gonna even lie. But I got up to do this show. What's your struggle? What's your strength? That's all I got for today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent the last hour and 21 minutes with me and my guest, Mr. Lawrence Jackson, CEO of Games of Drones. Check him out. Listen, I think it's amazing. I'm all souped up right now. Like, I need to go buy me a new drone because I'm a geek. Yeah, I know I am. I'll be back again on Monday, 10 a.m. God willing. Listen, if you missed any episodes of this show, be sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com and listen to the past episodes there. Also, if you feel it in your heart to support the show and buy me a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. I don't really drink coffee. Buy me a cup of tea. I love tea though. Buy me a cup of tea. Go there and buy one of my products, whether it's a t-shirt, a book, a journal, whatever it is. That's going to help me keep this show going. And I love you to life for your support as well. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook at Good Morning Gwinnett. Follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Gwinnett. And follow me on the Twitter at GM Gwinnett. And if you got a mobile phone, Android or Apple phone, there's an app for the Good Morning Gwinnett Show. Download our app to your mobile phone and never miss an episode. And if you got an Alexa, you want to listen to the show on Sunday, because that's the only time you get to listen to podcasts, so Alexa, open Good Morning Gwinnett, and she will play the latest episode of the Good Morning Gwinnett Show. So again, thank you again for listening. Be sure to stay safe out there, y'all. Hug your families and tell them you love them. Because listen, you only get one. You only get one. I feel like I'm about to sing a song. You only get one. Tell me you love them. Stay safe. I'll be back again Monday at 10 a.m. God willing. Until next time, make it a great day. Bye, y'all.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.